think I'm upside down. Hey everybody, it's telling me to rotate my phone and I'm not sure if I'm the right way or not.
Nope, turn it.
Should I go that way?
To your left.
Does that work? Okay, like this. I'm just gonna go like this. Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well.
Yes. Yep.
And my phone is a little messed up, so I'm gonna take a moment and get it fixed. I hope you all are doing well. Sissy, can you turn this for me? I hope you guys are doing well. I'm so excited to be with you this evening, and just have been praying that God would bless our time together and just use this time to continue to use this time to foster freedom and hope and all the things that we need to live the life that God has called us to live. Hi, Johnny. I see you. Nicole, I see you. Jared, so good to see you.
I'm having a problem with the connection.
And
please try again in a little bit.
Sorry. Siri is trying to have her way with me as well. It's so good to see you guys tonight. And one of the things I wanted to start off with is our summit is going to be online this year. We're having a virtual summit, and we're so excited about that. It is July 30th and the 31st. And I believe very firmly that this is going to be one of the best experiences that we've ever had. It's going to be different than anything we've ever done. And Pastor John and the team are working to create an experience that I believe is absolutely God-breathed, for sure, but also unforgettable. And as I was thinking about the summit this year, I started thinking about how I was affected at Summit in the years past, particularly as a ministry leader. And I remember the very first time I came to Summit, I could not believe I thought I knew the reach that Celebrate Recovery had, but I was absolutely unaware of the impact Celebrate Recovery has had, not just on our nation, but on the world. And coming and being involved in Summit really expanded my vision. It expanded my perspective of who we are as a ministry and my role in that. I couldn't believe that I got to participate, that I get to participate, and I still have this feeling. I get to participate in such a powerful, transformative ministry that shapes the lives of people, not just temporarily, but eternally. That's what Celebrate Recovery is. It's absolutely amazing. And so if you would join me in praying for Pastor John and Cheryl and the national team as they continue to put the pieces of the summit together. And we don't have all the details. I know some of you detail people are going to want to know every little thing about what's going to happen. Well, guess what? We don't know quite yet, but we will. Just keep your eyes peeled, keep watching, and keep praying about what's going to happen, and we'll provide you with information as we have it. And then if you are doing Celebrate Recovery online, we want to make sure that if you're using Zoom for your open share classes, we want to make sure that you are using password protected Zoom meetings, just because we've had people hack into Zoom, and we want to make sure that we're protecting the identity and the stories of the people that we're doing ministry and life with. So make sure your Zooms are password protected. And then our national team is online, our state reps are online, Pastor John and Cheryl are online. I saw Johnny and Jenny. If you have any questions about Celebrate Recovery, or if you need prayer for anything, would you please put that information in the feed, and we will answer questions, we'll pray for you. We want you to know that we're in this with you, that we want to walk with you in your recovery. We want to make sure that you have what you need from a spiritual perspective to live the life that God has called you to live. So make sure you're putting your prayer requests, put a praise report in the feed as well. If something wonderful has happened to you in your recovery, let's share it. Let's share that tonight. Well, today I was thinking about Mac and Mary, and first of all, Mac and Mary, I love you so much. I love I'm appreciative of the impact that you've had on my life. and your consistency in spirit. Going back to my first time at Summit, I remember hearing your stories from online, from on stage, and so moved by your presence, so moved by your maturity. And I just want you to know that I honestly appreciate that we get to do life and ministry together. But I was thinking about last night and your story about your cooking and how you had to put the brakes on cooking and go back to your rhythm in terms of eating well, because with COVID, we've been home, our schedules have changed, and I have had to do the same thing, and I felt convicted. I was walking with my sister this morning, and we were talking about last night's live, and I really have to, and not just on the cooking side and the eating side, but I've really had to put back in place some of the rhythms that I've established since we've been in a shelter-in-place status. I started off well, but I fell off. I would get up early and go for walks, and then I found myself sleeping in a little bit more, and I like to walk early in the morning. And so if I don't get up by a specific time, I'm not going to go outside because it's too hot. And so I had to shift my rhythm and get back to a place where life was working for me, life was working with me, not me against life, but working with life. And so I've been getting up in the mornings, I've been walking. The other day it was raining and I couldn't go outside because she does not like to get wet. And I decided, and she can't dance, she is me. She can't dance. And I thought, you know what? I am going to go find a hip hop exercise class that's 30 minutes long on YouTube. And I figured it out. I didn't do all the dances, but I got my workout in. And so for all of us in this, in our recovery journey, I just want to remind you that we might have to shift our rhythms. We might have to re-engage with our rhythms. We might have to course correct with some of the things that we've put in place for us so that we can walk out not just our lives, but our recovery with freedom, with grace and purpose. Yes? Okay, so this morning again, walking with my sister, talking about Mac and Mary and how impactful last night was. I started thinking about our recovery journey and what that looks like. And the scripture in Psalms came to mind, Psalm 34:17. And it says, when the righteous cry for help, not if, when the righteous cry for help, the Lord hears and delivers them out of all of their troubles. And then back in 34:15, it says, the eyes of the Lord are toward the righteous. He sees you. The eyes of the Lord are toward the righteous, and his ears are toward their cry. And as I began to ponder on both of those scriptures, I thought about three things. He sees us. He sees our situation. He hears our cry when we need him. And he delivers us, or he helps us find a pathway towards freedom. The righteous, you and I who are in Christ. He sees us. He hears us, and he helps us find. He gives us a pathway towards freedom. And as I was thinking about how he sees us, my sister has very keen vision, and we were talking about how she can identify somebody a long way off by the way they walk. She can just look up and see them and say, oh, that's Derek, before we ever know who it is, or oh, that's my niece Courtney, or I can see that is Ruth, my niece who you hear singing every week. She can look at them, she can see them from a distance, not see their face, but just by the way they walk, she identifies who they are. And I think there's so much power and it gives us perspective in terms of who God is and how he sees us in our lives. He sees us when we're doing well. He sees us when we're struggling. He sees us when we're hurting. He sees us when we fall. He sees us when we're on the ground trying to figure out how to get up after we've fallen. He sees us. And not only does he see you, he hears your cry. Mothers, can I just talk to you for a minute? Have you ever been in a store that is packed and you have your children with you and your child, your baby somehow slips away, something happens, and that child begins to cry? And you know beyond a shadow of a doubt, your child is not with you, but all you have to do is hear that cry because you know the tone, you know the pitch, you know your child, and you know that that's their cry. And when you hear that cry, you go and tend to that baby. Just like that. And I believe in such a deeper way, God hears us and he tends to us because he knows us. He not only knows us, he created us. That's why he knows us so well. So he sees us, he hears our cry, and he helps us find deliverance. My question, where are you in your recovery journey? And what do you believe about God as it relates to the thing that may have a grip on your life? And it could be something as simple, and I'm saying that loosely, and I'm not saying it loosely, as cooking and eating. And you having to make a shift in how you live your life during the day so that you have a handle on what you're putting in your body. But what if it's drugs? What if it's alcohol? What if it is a food addiction that you need deliverance from? Have you ever been in that space where you think, I don't think I can do this. I don't think he sees me. It's too hard. I don't think he hears me. I don't believe he knows me. That might be you tonight. But I want you to know that this God that we talk about every night at 8 o'clock, he's for you and he sees you. And he has this supernatural ability to take you from the place you are right now and put you on a path towards healing where you may fail and get up and fail and get up and lead you towards complete and utter victory, complete and utter freedom, because he sees you. When you cry out to him, he sees you. When you cry out to him, he hears you. When you cry out to him, he responds in a way that no other can respond. And the beauty about this God that we serve is that he gives his people, the righteous, the ability to come alongside you and walk with you on that journey towards freedom so that you're not in it by yourself. The truth is, we cannot do it alone. Has anybody online tried to do it on your own? How'd that work out for you? How'd it work out for you? He's given us the beauty of relationship and community. And I just want to challenge you to make sure that you're not in this by yourself. Several years ago, I was walking through a very difficult time, and I went to visit a friend of mine. I was living in El Paso, and I went to visit a friend of mine who lived in Tulsa. And on the way back, I remember getting on the plane, and I was a Christian. I got on the plane, and I laid my head on the window of the plane, and my marriage was dissolving. And I was embarrassed, and I was afraid, and I honestly didn't know how I was going to survive. And I remember laying my head on the window, and I just said, God, I just wish I could die. I want it to be all over. And somehow I felt his, I can't even explain it. I can't even explain to you what happened to me in that moment. But I honestly felt like he saw me. I felt like he heard me. And I felt like he knew my situation and had a pathway towards freedom for me. And I'm here today to talk about it. I'm here today to share about it. And my question to all of you online today, what has God brought you through? Can you shout out one thing that God did for you? And if you don't want to shout it out, send up a clap or raise your hand and say, God did it for me, because I believe there's someone online who's struggling. And I want you to know, woman or man, friend, sister, brother, that the struggle is real. The struggle is real. But we're in this with you. And we're here to remind you that there's a God that's bigger than your problem. There's a scripture in Psalm that says the righteous can run into the tower of the Lord and find safety. There are times when you feel like you can't sleep at night. And he'll meet you and provide you with a rest that you cannot even explain. When you need an answer, when you need provision, he's the one that gives it to you. And it's supernatural. We can't determine how it happens, but we know that it happens. And this God is here for you, and he's with you. He sees you. He knows you. You know, when I got on that plane, it was a dreary day. The sun wasn't shining. And it was mid-morning, and as the plane took off, it was rainy, it was covered with clouds, and as the plane took off, it went through the clouds, and all of a sudden, above the cloud cover was the beautiful, beautiful sunshine. And it reminded me of a story about a little boy who came home from school, and his mom looked at him, and he didn't look like he was right in the moment, and he went to play, and he was all by himself, and she walked over to him, and she said, "Son, what's going on? What's wrong with you today?" And he just looked up at her, and he said, "Mama, the sun didn't shine today." And she said, "Yes, the sun was out today." And he said, "No, Mama, when we went outside for recess, the sun didn't shine, and I was so sad." And she scooped up this beautiful boy in her arms, and she put his head next to her head, face to face. And she said, "Son, the sun always shines. Sometimes you have to look beyond the clouds." And just as the earth rotates around the sun and allows us sunlight, God's presence is ever with us. His presence is ever with us. Do you believe that? Mm-hmm. Do you believe that he will never leave you, that he will never forsake you, that he's always with you? Again, just quickly, if you have a prayer request, we want to pray for you. So put your prayer request in the feed, and our team will pray for you, and we'll walk with you through your challenge. If you have any questions, we're happy to answer them for you. And lastly, we want you to know that he sees you, he hears you, he knows you, and he will walk with you through your challenge. And just in Thursday night fashion, my niece is right here, and we're going to sing together.
Waymaker,
Miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are.
sing his name is Waymaker,
Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are.
We declare you are
Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are.
It goes like this. Even when I don't see it, you're working.
Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working.
God, you never stop.
You never stop working. You never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop working. You never stop working. You never stop working.
Your promise still stands. Great is your faithfulness.
Yes. Faithfulness. I'm still in your hands. This is my confidence. You've never failed me yet.
Your promise still stands.
Great is your faithfulness. Your faithfulness. I'm still in your hands. This is my confidence. You've never failed me yet.
No, God, you've
Never failed me yet.
because you are waymaker, miracle worker.
Promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are.
Sing waymaker,
Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are.
Sing it real soft one last time.
Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. Wow, so beautiful. Don't you love serving the Lord and worshiping together? You know, this social distancing has got me jacked up in some ways. But when we come together like this, it reminds me that there is no distance in spirit, and we are together, and we're in this together, and we have this beautiful opportunity to walk out our recovery together. We have the ability to celebrate our recovery together, and we have the ability to share this message with other people. So he sees you. He knows you. He's with you. I love you guys. See you tomorrow.